When we are in a fearful state, our immune system goes down. So one of the worst things that we can be doing right now is be in a state of fear, because what that does is that shortens the telomeres inside of our body, that increases the cortisol, and increases the probability that we actually could get sick. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do instead and how to really stop being fearful. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now what I wanted to do in this video is to actually share with you a spiritual perspective about what is going on in the world right now. When you look around, you may be seeing a lot of other people that are very fearful. And then it becomes very easy to absorb what is called that state transference. When people feel a certain way and you're around them, that energy is very contagious. When you may watch some type of media and you see a certain type of narrative that's being projected at you, it may be also very easy to feel in that fearful state. However, what that does is that actually increases the probability of something bad actually happening. Whatever we focus on, we feel, and when our vibration is in a lower vibrational state, such as fear or anger, what happens is things tend to happen in more of a segregative type way. Think about it. The more you raise your vibration, the more you experience synchronicity in your life, the more healthy you are, but the more you're in fearful states, the more negative synchronicity happens, the more the immune system begins to shut down, the more cortisol there is in the body than anything else. And cortisol is very acidic. And when your body's acidic, it's very easy for things to spread. So when you look around right now and you see what is going on, be aware that first off, the best thing you can do is learn how to have awareness. Awareness and fear are completely different things. You can be aware of something without being fearful of it. I'm not saying to not be aware of what's going on in the world, but I am saying to be aware of it, but not fearful. Fear is a choice. Fear comes from a belief. And you may say, a choice? What do you mean? I'll explain it to you. But understand that this is going on right now. I'm not in fear. There are a lot of other people that know what I'm sharing right now, and they are not in fear either. It's just that when you look around, you see everybody else pretty much in fear, so it's like, oh, this is how I should be. In order for me to care, sometimes we think that caring means also in fear. And I'm here to tell you that caring, the best thing you can do right now is to actually emit love energy and to emit confidence and trust that everything's going to be okay. Now think about it like this. There's an electromagnetic field around our body. And what happens is the thoughts we consistently think and the feelings we consistently have are within that energetic field. Now what happens is that energy emanates out of us, and then we have millions and billions of people on the planet that also have an electromagnetic field around their body. Now this is what happens. There's an electromagnetic field around the whole entire earth. We call that the collective consciousness. Now, right now, because there's a mass amount of fear on the planet, there is this collective consciousness that has fear within that bubble. Now, in order for it to heal, the key is not buying into it, not putting yourself on the same wavelength of everyone else, because then that actually is adding to the problem itself. The key to this, and if you're watching this video right now, I believe that you are someone that can hold space, that can be aware of what's happening. You can still go wash your hands. You can still go and be aware and stock up on food and do all that stuff. But you don't have to buy into the fear, because the fear itself is decreasing the strength of your immune system and increasing the probability that something happens. Now here's the thing as well. I don't actually believe that it is as bad as it says. I have people all over the world that have been DMing me on Instagram that have said it's not as bad as they're making it sound. They're in different parts of the world, in Europe and different places, and even though there's a lot of people that are in a fearful state, it's not as bad as we think. Now here is the thing that I think, here's a spiritual perspective on what's going on. What happens is our belief is extraordinarily powerful. Now let me show you what I mean by that. Dr. Deepak Chopra. Many of you have heard of him. He has a book. And one of his books that came out, I read a long time ago. I've always remembered this story. There was somebody that went into a doctor and had some tests done. And what happened is the doctor did some tests and then told this person, I'm sorry, but you have this specific type of problem and you're only given like 3 weeks to live. That's the max of what you have left. This person ended up passing away 3 or 4 weeks later, just like the doctor said. However, what they eventually found out is a month or two later that that person's files were mixed up with someone else's. So what happened is that person, through their own mind, through their own belief system, ended up having their body shut down because of their belief and their belief in what the doctor told them. Now, there have been many other people that were told before by a doctor, this is what's going to happen to you. You only have this much time left. And they chose not to believe it. And those people, many of them are still alive today because of their belief. So could it be that it is partially because of this type of thing that's happening? Or could it also be that the emotion and fear is being pumped into it and the belief is being pumped into it and therefore it is actualizing more and more? I think it's a little bit of both. But I think that one of the sure ways for you to bypass from all of this is to not buy into it, not buy into the fear. Let me ask you a question as well. This is something that I did a post on Instagram and it got 200,000 or 300,000 views in like 2 days, and it was insane. It got shared 20-something thousand times. It was on understanding this idea. Have you ever seen anything on the media that has been positive? Ever? Have you ever seen anything on the media that's like, oh, you should be aware of this, but you don't have to be in this fearful state? Ever? No. It is always the most low vibrational way of interpreting it that is projected out, and then that keeps people in that state. So maybe, just maybe, there's a reason for that. And I don't know exactly what that reason is. I do know that people do what they're told more easily when they're in these states. And I do know that the more we think for ourselves and the more we change the way that we feel about this and the more we observe it from a place of awareness is the more we take our power back. So let me share with you a little bit about how this works. Now, what is fear anyways? This is going to be a short little explanation that I think will change your life because you'll see it in a completely new way. This is the way it works. We have belief, then thoughts. It's supposed to be thoughts here instead of feeling. So belief, thought, feeling, action, result. Now, in order for us to have any type of feeling, what happens is we must first have a belief about something, and then that belief causes the feeling. So if we're feeling fear, it means that we have some definition that is causing that fear. So if we want to not feel the fear, we don't try to change the fear itself, because the fear is the root of the belief. We must first off be aware of what is our definition, what is our belief about this situation, what are we buying into that's causing us to feel this way. And if we find that we're buying into and having a vision that the whole world is going to have this certain, is going down and all this stuff, then guess what? Then no wonder we're going to feel that. If we feel like this thing could happen to me and all of this stuff and we have to do this, we have to do that, then we're buying into that belief. The key is being aware of what are you buying into. What meaning are you giving this situation? The meaning I'm giving this is I'm going to be aware, and because I'm aware, I can then choose how I feel. This is a choice. It's just that people many times buy in and adopt the beliefs of what they're being told, so they think that they have to think that way. You can question what you are being told. You can question what is being put on TV. You can question it. Yes, maybe something is happening, but the story we tell ourselves about what is happening is what causes the emotion. It is the story we are telling ourselves. And the key to this is taking back the meaning, your interpretation of that story. I am not in fear. I am not in fear because I am not interpreting it the same way as everybody else. I'm not buying into it. I am aware, I'm observing it, but I'm not buying into it. So once you see this, you can then see if you want to change the feeling, the fear, it is about first off becoming aware of your belief about the situation, the story about the situation, and what you are agreeing to. And I think that in a way, As crazy as this sounds, I think that on the planet right now, there's a form of pressure that's being created that's allowing more and more people to wake up. More and more people to wake up to the media, what's going on, to seeing how obvious a lot of this really is. It's right in front of our faces. Here's the thing. When you put a frog in boiling water, it jumps out. If you put a frog in lukewarm water and then you turn up the heat, it will boil itself to death. Many of us are so used to the way the media is there, the way that we interpret reality, thinking that it always has to be in fear. We think we have to buy into that emotion, which, like I said, then that fear puts us into a state to where our telomeres shrink, we have more cortisol in our body becomes more acidic, and it's more likely for us to actually get sick. The thing is, you don't have to buy into it. You can question it. You can choose your perspective. And by choosing your perspective, you're going to remain more powerful. And when you are powerful, you don't as easily buy into these different types of things. So the most powerful thing that you can do right now is to observe what's happening from a place of awareness. The most important thing you can do right now is to take care of your own health, is to take care of yourself, and to understand that the more you become aware of the beliefs and the story you tell yourself about what's happening, the more powerful you will actually feel. And here's something else that I just recently did. I have a guided meditation for transforming that fear into love and for strengthening your immune system. It is absolutely free. It's in the top description box below. Listen to that meditation for 21 days. Watch what happens. Read the different comments to see what is possible. But understand that you have the power within you to send love and to send healing to other parts of the world. There's this collective consciousness around us. And as you do that, you heal yourself and you heal the world. So I'll go and link that video below. Other than that, I hope this video helps. Share this video with other people to help them know that their fear can be transformed into love. I think that this video will resonate. It's not as esoteric as some of my other videos, so I think that this is one you can share with a lot of people to spread that love. I think it will help to heal the collective consciousness as well. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace, much love, and namaste.